So I just want to say hello to everyone. Thank you for joining us today as we, the Savannah Tribune, launch a special feature called the Savannah Tribune Speaks. And what that is we're going to be bringing the conversation directly to you with timely updates on the people, events, and issues that's shaping our community. So hear from experts from across the whole field, a wide range of fields as they share valuable insights, practical information, and resources that matter most. And we're meeting you where you are, so keeping you informed, connected, and empowered. I'm excited today to welcome to us with us on our first interview with Ms. Zelonia Williams. Zelonia, we are so excited to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Zelonia is with the Future Minds Literacy and Adult Education Incorporated, which is a program that she launched several years ago that's still valuable right now today. So welcome, Ms. Zelonia, and we want you to give us a little bit of information about you, what you're doing right now, and then we're going to go directly into the literacy program.
Absolutely. Well, in addition to that, now also I am blessed to lead Read Savannah Task Force, in which our mayor thought of several initiatives, and Read Savannah is one of those initiatives, just because he understands clearly the importance of literacy within our community. So thank you so much, Tanya. Thank you, Savannah Tribune, for making me the first. And it also speaks volume because you guys have a clear understanding that not only our mayor understand that the importance of literacy, it is clear that you guys understand that it is a driving force in our community, especially with some of the jobs that are coming here.
I mean, and of course the Savannah Tribune, in order to read it, you know?
And I was always told that the newspapers on a third and fourth grade level. And so it's so profound that you stated that, because that's for third graders, that is the grade level in which we're able to determine so much, rather that youth will be able to read on his or her level, rather they would more than likely graduate from high school, college, or rather they're less likely to graduate from high school. But most importantly, it also face barriers depending on their literacy numeracy scores or what have you. But third grade and newspaper, I can definitely see the correlation there.
And I think that in some instances, they use the newspaper, the Savannah Tribune, as a tool. And even in adult daycares, they use it as a tool to get people to continue to learn to read, or,
Tanya, I remember that being called current events. We would have to read the newspaper, and we would not only read it, you would have to read the newspaper, but also you would have to write a short summary of what you read that include the who, what, when, where.
Exactly.
So I know a lot of people who are listening on now are thinking like, oh, I remember that. But those were the important components of it that helped us not only read, but comprehend what we are reading.
Exactly. So tell me a little bit about how you started with Future Minds Literacy.
Absolutely. So Future Minds Literacy and Adult Education started out 22 years of age in my graduate study at Armstrong University. And I do know that there's a merge, but at that time I was attending when it was separate. Under my amazing mentor and instructor, Dr. Coberly Hope. And she tasked the class with creating a project. And my project was creating a GED literacy program. And so I decided to do a little bit of research, but also take the program to a area in our community that I felt needed it the most. And that community was Moses Jackson Community Center. So we started out as a pilot program. We also started out with 12 youth. Out of the 12 youth, 10 obtained their GED. And at that point, I knew I had some sort of magical power to make or help change the lives of others by way of literacy. Did that, and then also had buy-in in the United Way Effingham area that wanted me to bring my my program there in the community center there. So with working with youth that and older adults who are in Savannah and then also Effingham, it just became this amazing program that was able to change many individuals' lives so quickly that we stand here strong today doing the same thing. And the beautiful part about that is we're still at the Moses Jackson Community Center.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Hmm.
Now tell me about the Read Savannah, the task force that you serve, that the mayor
Absolutely.
created.
Absolutely. Our amazing mayor, of course, knew that there was a great need. Looking at the stats, if you think about it, with well over 35,000 students in school, 53% of them in the third grade level are reading on their grade level. However, you have that still 47%, which is a huge, is
A big
huge,
number.
enormous, that are not reading proficiently on their levels. So what that tells us is if you go back to what I stated earlier, we have to look at whether those youth will be able to graduate from high school, go to college, will face barriers trying to obtain it, careers that we're looking for, and what about that generational education or wealth in which we have to think about and consider as well. So when we look at that holistically and knew and as a whole, and he knew that there was going to be a problem, not now, but later,
Hmm.
why not address it now?
Right.
So this was one of these initiatives that he put in place to where we can change the stats of literacy in our community and not just for one particular area, for Savannah as a whole.
So do you have a relationship or a partnership with the Board of Education?
We have a partnership not only with the Board of Education, we have a partnership with the City of Savannah. They have a Workforce Success Academy, and the blessing here is Future Minds Literacy and Adult Education works with the sanitation, water distribution, workforce readiness program. And what that entails is a lot of their employees who lack a high school diploma GED, uh, Future Minds is able to work with those individuals to help skill them up, to help them obtain their GED. The beauty of it is the city of Savannah, they are not looking at firing their youth. We're looking at skilling them up.
Hmm.
And so with us working together, they're able to promote in the workplace. They're able to, as far as with advancement in the workplace, they're
Right.
also able to help these individuals continue their education, not only stop there at their GED, they could continue on in higher education and so forth. But what that looks like is if you think about the poverty rate here, it also advancement in the workplace, which follows that is income. So
Hmm.
you now see an increase in income.
Hmm.
So the whole family unit is now in a better shape than they were before. I'm now talking to a lot of hotels with the same approach, and I think this is going to work out amazing.
Hmm.
A lot of their employees are working in housekeeping, but they would like to be skilled up and move up to the receptionist, moving up to managerial positions. Despite what the case may be, I see Savannah looking at this totally different now, and we're having to be a little bit more innovative to go now to the population that we serve. And it may look like giving them an hour of their time at work for them to work on their GED. And to
Hmm.
me, that shows that our community is now having a clear understanding that this is a need with all of the jobs that's coming in, but not having the employees to work that are on the skill set that is needed to sustain those jobs.
Right, right, right. And then also what it looks like to think about when you're at home with your child, you can help him
Mhm.
with homework. You can
Absolutely.
also you can actually teach the little one reading. If you've got it, you can teach them what you've learned, what you picked up.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. And that's what we found the most that from my experience working with a lot of young adults and older adults, is that if you're sending a child home, if you're sending a one of the students home from school grade level to a parent that is illiterate, it's definitely hard and frustrating. And sometimes this is what you have an onset of abuse because the parent gets upset. Why didn't you learn this at home? Frustrated at because they're already a year or two behind. They're getting frustrated with their child, and so the child end up not wanting to even ask mom or dad or even grandmother now for help with their homework because they're afraid of what the backlash comes, behind them asking that one question of, can you help me? I don't understand.
Mm-hmm. And that's got to be a bad feeling for the parent and also a bad feeling for the
Hmm.
child. You
Yes,
know,
yes.
when the parent can't help you, it's not because they don't want to, it's because they can't.
That they can't, and it's
Mm-hmm.
hard for them to um, let their child know maybe I don't have a high school diploma or GED, or maybe I dropped out at a very early age, with the understanding that there are some legit reasons why people drop out of school. And I'm not going to be the one to tell them because it just wasn't, my cross to carry. But I do know that there are some legit reasons why. The thing about it is, and I will say this to anyone that's listening, anyone who dropped out of school or even looking to obtain their GED, it is never too late.
Right.
It is a game changer. All I am right here in their community to assist them through all of these tribulations or what have you that comes with it. We not only work with the education component, it's the employment component of it as well, and the scholarship. So if a individual just have that drive, if it's within themselves to complete these things, it is literally, it's limitless on what it is that they can do in order to obtain their GED.
Well, if somebody's listening today that can utilize your services, how do they reach out to you?
Absolutely. On all of the platforms is Future Minds Literacy and Adult Education. But most importantly, I am so free for them to give me a call at area code 912-596-5554. And there's also one thing that I wanted to mention too. There's the Chatham Literacy um, Moonshot, which I think around in the March 2026. They have also, I'll be working closely with them in regard to literacy as well. I understand that they have a built out from working with individuals, early childhood learning, I think is teacher and workforce support, community wide partnerships. And if those persons don't lack a high school diploma, GED, but would like to become a partner, I think it would be ideal. But most importantly, we need high quality classrooms, instructions across the board, and not just in private schools. We need it in public schools too. We have a lot of tired teachers, a lot of exhausted teachers.
Right.
And my thing is, Future Minds, this we're going to change the narrative of that because we have some amazing things that we will have in place now for teachers, where they will be able to have a space
Mm-hmm.
to vent, to have their woosahs, and also have an amazing time after work. So we will be working closely with them. But I wanted to also mention Chatham Literacy Moonshot, which is doing an amazing job at what they're doing as well.
Got you. Got you. That's
Mhm.
good. Would you give me that phone number again, please?
Absolutely. 912-596
Mm-hmm.
5554.
I want to put that in the chat. So, if anybody's listening, anybody who's listening want to reach out to you, they'll have that option. And
Mm-hmm.
also, you said all the social media platforms. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Very
That is
good.
correct.
Very good. So, I want to thank you so much for joining us today as my
Thank you
first,
for
as we
having me.
launched the Savannah Tribune Speaks. And you gave some valuable information. And I think that, for who's listening, and we're going to post this on social media, we'll also post it on YouTube so that you can continue your work even when this conversation is over. So I thank
Awesome.
you again for joining us, and I'll be in touch.
I know you will.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Make it a great Friday.
You as well.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.